What up, everybody? Welcome. This is Paul Abernathy from Camp CMECP. Just doing a quick, it's been a long time since I've done actual live streams from a podcast. So, welcome. Not sure how this sounds, but we're just kind of playing with it. I'm down here at the lake and real excited about tomorrow night's webinar that we're going to be doing on the CMECP program. So I'm excited about that and what it is and what it has to offer. So again, just kind of want to give you a little bit of idea what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night. Can kind of a heads up for those that do happen to follow me over on the live streams. It's been a while. Everybody probably remembers that it goes back a long way from where I used to do a lot of the live podcasts rather than videos. And so we're going to be doing more of those podcasts that are live as well. So look for that in the future, especially if I'm down here at what I now refer to as Camp CMECP, which is where I come to think about how I'm going to do things in the future and how I'm going to expand the program and things like that. But what you'll probably hear me talk about tomorrow night is all of the, what are we doing with the CMECP thing? So when we started this thing up, and if there's a background noise, I apologize. It's hot down here in Texas, so that is the air conditioning for the camper. Anyway, what did we start the mission for? What was our mission? And if you haven't checked it out, go check out our website. Brand new website, brand new look. Everything now is based on our organization, so it's cmecp.org. Go check that out. Of course, any of our other URLs will get you there. The mycmecp.com, certifiedelectricalcodeprofessional.com. All of those will get you there. What is it? What's the mission? Well, obviously, for me, it was looking at the industry and saying, what is the industry offering the master electrician? I mean, what is it being offered to them? What are they getting out of it? Are they getting anything that's unique to them, right? You get your license and that's pretty much it. They send you out there, and a lot of times the masters really don't even have a lot of in the field experience except for what they got as a journeyman. So they don't really get any leadership, management type of thing. So we wanted to come up with a concept that takes the game to the next level. Now, typically, I work a lot in code, so I deal a lot with the National Electrical Code, and so for me, that was the step was to try to raise folks' level of knowledge of the National Electrical Code to build on top of that experience that they get. Obviously, to get into our program, which, you have your critics of programs. Excuse me. Sadly, when I create things, there's always the haters out there that tie it to me. But without people, and it's kind of like, obviously I'm not saying anything remotely like I'm Elon Musk, but you either love him or hate him, right? You don't think about the fact that he puts out this vision of what he wants, how he wants to grow it and provide for everybody. We miss that. It's the person. So when I decided to come up with the CMECP, you have your haters that come along, but they missed the boat. I remember back, it's almost probably 20 years ago, when I had the electrical guru, and I had so many people over on the social media, back then it really wasn't social media, forums, who would say, God, Paul thinks he knows everything. He's the, quote, guru. They didn't understand that I was ahead of the time when it comes to marketing. I was marketing a concept, a place to go, something to recognize. I certainly don't know more than other people. There's plenty of people that know way more than me. But it's the vision of what you wanted to create for an industry, where, in my view, what happened is that the level of quality, the knowledge, and everything is kind of going downhill, even though advancement is going uphill. In other words, if you go to the TikToks and the Instagrams, the search hounds, the Facebooks, and you look at what people are posting, you realize that the level of quality or the care in our trade is dropping. Now, the beautiful thing about electricity is it still works, right? It still tries to function even if somebody does it wrong. So what we wanted to do was say, look, we know you're a master electrician or equivalent. What we want to do is create something more, something that helps you stand out, something that can be verifiable. In other words, you go through a program, you get graded, you get tracked, it gets logged, it's kept on file, you get your certificate, you get your lapels, you get your ability to market yourself as this professional, but you have a corporation behind it that can validate it, right? So it's not just where you go and you sit for a test, right? So our program is 6 months that you have to complete it in 6 months. And then you have a proctored exam, 100 questions. It's all video taped and recorded. It's kept in the file. And then you have to do a 5-on-1. Now that's unique because you're going to meet 5 of your peers. And they're going to ask you questions. And so I understand that there's some people that won't agree with it. And it usually tells me there's a high probability that because they don't agree with it, they probably couldn't obtain it, right? I mean, it's too much for them. And I get that. And it will be too much for many people. But for a lot of people, it is a rite of passage for them. They know that to take their game to the next level, whether it's marketing themselves, whether it's to show they can lead others, whether or not they're looking for promotion in their company. We're always looking to expand the program. We are not going to be shy about wanting to partner with people. We're not going to lower the expectation to get into the program. We're not lowering it. Okay, you still got to be a master electrician or equivalent because that is your benchmark. Once you get in, that is where we're raising that level of knowledge by going through our program. Now, it doesn't matter what program we use. It's based on the NEC. Our current program, our vendor, is Electrical Code Academy. That does not mean that we won't partner with other educational providers to use their program as long as they submit their program and it meets our minimum criteria. Then we have no problem with bringing in partners. This is not about, and this is the one thing I have to make clear to people, this is not about promoting Electrical Code Academy. It's just the fact that when you create an association and you want to grow it, you have to have something to build on. And since we already have very established programs, the fast tracks and all that, that's where you have to start. But we did not create CMECP Program to be an offshoot of Electrical Code Academy. It's a vendor. At the point where, you have to have, it's kind of like when you think of Elon again, who has all these things like Starlink and all these other spinoffs, Tesla and everything else. You have to start somewhere. And what better place to start than my vision, what I want it to be. And I can tell you, I was talking to Jay, and the vision that I came up with the CMECP was so much greater. It was at some point having an annual convention, having a lot of resources for CMECPs. Currently on the website now, the new website, we have a new members forum, only available to members. And we have the educational portal, which is with our partnership with Allison, so you can get access to all of those courses. And what we do is we post the ones that we feel are relevant. We've reviewed them. They're free. And so, in 2 ways of doing that, if you want to complete those courses and get a certificate, you can get one from us or from Allison. Either way you want to do it. If that helps you in promoting your business. But again, at the end of the day, I think too many people are so keyed into saying, I want to get something like CEUs out of it. Because then, if you think of that mentality, here's the difference between a CMECP. You ready? A normal person thinks, I don't want to do anything extra unless I'm going to get something out of it, like credits. And the person that really cares about growth and how their business and how they market it, in other words, they learn how to market their business, will think, I ain't worried about that. I'll take other educational offerings if I have to. What I'm interested in is promoting myself and how can I stand out amongst the crowd in a ever-growing market where there's going to be more demand than there is supply, in other words, of good electricians, right? We're going to see growth. We're going to see things change. We're going to see my prediction after the November elections. You're going to see things change and grow again. And at the end of the day, what you're going to have is there's not going to be enough electricians to get the work done. But when people want to hire electricians, those that stand out, those that really are detailed about the quality of work they do and take that extra step to go that extra mile, those are the individuals that I think are going to get the lion's share of the business. And that's how we want to position the CMECP as that go-to person or company. So that's our mission is to grow the knowledge of a master electrician or equivalent. Now, when I say equivalent, some people ask what that means. I use Ohio as an example. Ohio's got journeyman and then it's got electrical contractor. Well, it has no master. So the electrical contractor, if you get your license as an electrical contractor, that's equivalent to a master. And we're okay with that. And it's the same way in some other states. So that's what the equivalency means in the program. But what to expect tomorrow night? I'm going to go through the program quickly. Then I'm going to go through the benefits of it and how it can benefit not just the electrician, but the companies, like a large company who wants to make sure that all of their leaders in their company, all their project managers, all of their people that are at leadership roles will be in the CMECP program. We're going to be adding more stuff to it, and we're always open to people's recommendations. Really, we are. We're always open to expanding it because if the threshold to get in is not going to be lowered, in other words, you still got to be a master or equivalent, and that's the bar. Everything beyond that, we want to add to enhance. Now, we also want to make this affordable because this is not an expensive program. If you think about what you pay, this is not. In fact, of the CMECPs that are in our program right now, we have yet, ask any of them, we have yet to raise or even put out any renewal fees. In other words, they are automatically been renewed. COVID hit, and that kind of slowed down our progress. We were going really good in 2019 and start of 2020. COVID hit, and I had to focus my time on my academy and the growth of the academy. So CMECP kind of sat there in limbo. Now, we still have students that came through the program, and again, percentages of pass versus fail. A lot of people fail in the program, and that's not to deter people. That's to tell you that it's not an easy program, but it is based on code. And so we are trying to not just test you on your code knowledge. That's not what it's all about. It is to give you something, to teach you something, to enhance your current knowledge and get you through the program. And then we want to add more to that beyond electrical. We want to add you the resources for business management, leadership classes that you want to take to become a better leader. And our hope is that the CMECP, which is a totally different breed than everybody else, right? You may not want, see, the CMECP program might not be for everybody. It really might not. If you're somebody that doesn't want to grow, doesn't want to keep continually learning, I mean, life is short, right? In my mind, it's also pretty damn boring if you get to a stage and you don't want to keep learning something. That's why I take the classes, leadership, management, mentoring classes. I continue to take things, and I take little nuggets away from it. And so we're going to be offering those links, and they're only going to be accessible, and we're only going to kind of take our resources and break them down into classes that we feel are necessary for the CMECP. Now, they're not part of getting the CMECP because that's very much code-based, but we do want to provide additional resources. Also, we have the corporate, the CMECP Perk program. Now, if you don't know what that is, literally everything that you currently buy, restaurants you go to, movie tickets, whatever stuff that you might already be buying, you can buy through this program, earn some points to get free stuff, but you also get discounts, corporate discounts. In fact, the laptop that I'm talking to you on right now, here at CMECP, at my lake house, or lake camper, was purchased through that program, and I got it at employee pricing. Like if you worked for Lenovo, I got it for the same price that they would pay, which was about $150 less than retail. So, dude, that's $150 in my pocket, but it also would have paid for anything to do with the CMECP program. So you can make it back, whether you get restaurant coupons, and there's so many categories of stuff. It's there for you. Whether you use it or not, that's up to you, but it's there for you. And we try to continually add those things into the program to make it worth the while for the CMECP. And we are always taking recommendations. Whatever you out there think will make the program better, and you don't even have to be a CMECP to make recommendations. Just go over to CMECP.org. You can send in a contact from there, or you can email it to info at CMECP.org. I am more than happy to listen. Now, let me kind of tell you a little bit about what we're also going to talk about on Monday night. Just kind of a sneak peek. We're going to go over the course briefly. I'm going to go over the benefits to anybody who wants to be in a program. I'm going to go over the benefits to what it means for corporations to have their leadership people, their leaders on sites, to all be CMECPs, and the ongoing education part of it. We're also going to be adding slowly, we're going to be adding CEUs. Starting in 2023, we're going to be putting together CEU programs that we can offer to our CMECPs only, okay, in different states. So that's going to take time. But when we do those, they're going to be, yes, the effort is free for our CMECPs so they can get their CEUs in different states. And it'll be a slow process, but that's how we want to grow this thing. We want to, look, anybody that knows me, knows this CMECP project is not something that's trying to generate money. Now, I know people say, oh, it's Paul. I can hear them over in the forum, over in Mike Holt's forum now, where they hate me anyway. I can see them saying it's a money generator. It is not. Look at what it costs for the program. And people that's never run a business have no idea. They wouldn't even know what costs are. They just work for somebody and they think they understand. There's administrative costs. I have a lot of URLs, a lot of servers, a lot of things that we do that cost. And, you don't go out and do electrical work for free. So people want to know why we pulled off of YouTube for a lot of our free videos, because to run this thing, it's costly. So what happens is we want to keep the CMECP program as cost effective as possible. That's the goal. And so I think we've done it. We haven't seen any increases in anything. We haven't hit any of our current members for renewal fees. We haven't done any of that. We're blessed that we have a lot of volunteering CMECPs. Shout out to all of those. Neil, Greg, Marty, Joe. I'm going to leave some people out. Neil, Marty, Greg, Joe. Who am I leaving out? Jeff. And then our current Kenneth and just you know what, Todd, all those people and that help keep the CMECP thing going. It's just, it's a blessing in itself to have members that are such great members that help promote the program. It's a small family, but we're not letting anybody in. That's not the goal. The goal is not to let everybody in. It's to grow it, put like-minded individuals together, and grow this thing so that we have something for master electricians to shoot for. And so kind of that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow night. I do have an apprentice program as well, for anybody that asks about what that means. So anybody out there who's studying, that's a journeyman, that are studying for their masters, and they're struggling, usually they would go by our Fast Tracks program. And that teaches you what you need to know to pass your master's exam. Well, we have an alternative track that if they have this thought that they want to someday be a CMECP, that they can go through our program, the Apprentice Program, and instead of being 6 months like a normal CMECP program, it's 1 year. And in that year, they're studying to take their master's exam. If they use our program, the Apprentice Program, and they study, and then they get their master's license within that year, then they can take all of the credits they have through the program and use it towards that, and they immediately just jump to the proctored exam and then the 5-on-1. And so in the thresholds are a little bit lower for the apprenticeship program, because we're giving you an entire year than it would be for the masters who have to meet this 6 months threshold. But there's more details. It'll be on the website about the program. In fact, I don't know if the apprentice one's actually on the website yet, because we're fine-tuning it even more to make it clear what the expectations are of it. But it's just another way for people that are leaders in the journeyman, that we promote them to, I shouldn't say promote, we push them to become a master or equivalent. And in that process, they can get all the benefits of the CMECP in the process and learn the code in that process. And it also, at that point, as an apprentice, will give them access to certain features on the site that would only be available to members, except for the area that's only available to the CMECPs that are already CMECPs. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's a lot we're going to cover, but again, it's only an hour long tomorrow, and it's going to be very focused on what the mission is, what the program's about, how it can benefit you, and again, the perks, and I'm willing to answer any questions on it. We hope that everybody's going to be respectful. It might not be for you, but understand that if it's not for you, then just walk away. We don't necessarily want you. We don't need your comments that they're negative. If it's not for you, then just it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to be a hater sometimes, but at the end of the day, we have a vision of what this is. If I have anything, a legacy that I want to leave, and that is, the legacy for me is the CMECP program, to see it grow and to see it get to new heights. Because I don't know anything out there that's equivalent to it. Nothing. I really don't. You have to go through the 6-month course. You have to pass a proctored exam that's recorded, and you have to go through the gauntlet of 5-on-1 from the CMECPs, who ask you questions that you have to answer live. So along this way, it enhances your knowledge of code. We give you resources to save money. We give you resources to get other education, like business classes, management classes, marketing classes. We pulled these resources together, and we're only going to get better because we're now committed. So we had a little bit of a letdown with COVID. It slowed it down, but we are ready. We are geared. As you probably heard, we have a new offices that are hopefully going to be built and done by February 2023. We're going to have a studio where we're going to be putting out more stuff for CMECPs. We're going to have the CMECP Corner with updates and industry changes and news and events that for CMECPs. And there's just so much going on. We're going to be looking to partner. I would love to partner with major manufacturers, Schneider, Eaton, if they care about their members becoming the next level or the top shelf type of electricians. That's what we're after. Not just the hands-on, but they also have the mental capacity. And that's what we think about. So when I teach electricians, we have the guys that can just pull the rope or just, pull cable and bend conduit. And then we have the people that understand why we do it. So right now, if you stand them side by side, and they're both master electricians, you don't know which is the more superior knowledge. Well, if they have credentials behind their name, they've been through a tested process with multiple stages that they have to go through, then how they market themselves is how they stand out amongst the crowd. So the biggest thing is giving you the marketing tools. As this grows, as more people accept it and understand it and realize what we're targeting and what we're going after is not a money mill. We're not letting anybody just get in. Like I said, of this last year, I think we had 32 candidates in this so far this year, and only one has made it through. And it's not because it's overly tough. Let me not discourage people. It's not that. It's code. I think the biggest thing for most people is time management, and being able to complete something in 6 months is tough. You might think it isn't, but you can ask any of the CMECPs, and I openly encourage you to do that. They're all ambassadors for the program. I don't believe we have any one of them that went through. Oh, I forgot to mention Jason earlier. Jason's CMECP. Sorry, Jason. Ask any of them. It's a commitment, but we love it. We love electrical. We know we want to take it to the next level, and we're going to be adding so much stuff into the program now as we're geared into this. We are committed. Also, hopefully by the first of the year, that we can announce that we have a new executive director of the program. Obviously, I'm going to be in the background developing content because that's what I like to do. I'd rather be that than the face of anything, to be honest with you, despite what some people will say. I do not care for the attention. I'd much rather be in the background creating content and things like that. But hopefully we'll have a new executive director that can help carry this forward. I'm hoping that we'll be able to bring on some program ambassadors, people that will get a commission based on CMECPs that they bring into the program, and hopefully that's going to be in place. So that's only going to be available to CMECPs. So keep that in mind if you're out there and you're one of the CMECPs listening, and you want to be an ambassador to the program, which you already are, but you can make a little bit off of it, because we're not here to just make money, but we're here to share it if it helps promote the program, that type of thing. Now, I won't be talking about that tomorrow night, the affiliates and all that kind of stuff, and executive director. I'm not going to be talking about that. I'm really going to try to focus on the program and try to keep it. I would love to be finished more than an hour. I think I can. I think 30 minutes would be awesome, but I wanted to book, kind of set the expectation for an hour and kind of go from there. But anyway, that's kind of and also my ADHD I have to stay focused, right? Because I go all over the place, and I already know that, and that's what keeps me always coming up with things and ideas. But when we got the trademarks for the CMECP under the unique classification under USPTO, we knew that this thing was going to be the linchpin for creating something that matters to master electricians. Give them something to be proud of. They went through the program, and now we just want to add on to it. And we're openly soliciting ideas, concepts. If you're a hater, dude, live in your own world of hate. I don't need you in ours. We're going to be positive, right? We are not against bringing in other programs, using other people who are educators' programs, as long as they submit a program to us that teaches the core fundamentals that we want, the National Electrical Code. We don't have a problem with that if they have a system in place. We are not about it being exclusively ours. We don't have a problem with vendors at all into the program. And vendors can charge whatever they want for their program. We have an initiation fee that covers our costs, $150. That covers the background check, that covers everything in managing the program, that covers the proctored exam time, covers everything. It helps cover the Zoom member fees that we do for the monthly Zoom thing. It covers those things. After that, we don't care about the vendor, but we have to okay the vendor. So that's one of the other things that we're putting out is if your company does education and you can put together a program that covers the National Electrical Code, all 8 chapters, okay, and has some aspects of it in the code from calculations to the NEC, then we're more than happy to bless it and make you a CMECP educational provider and get you in the program. Absolutely. But that's a process. Right now, we have something in place. We have stuff. Our Fast Track program is trademarked. Okay, we have it in place, but we're not adverse to bringing in other educators and giving them that. Again, we're not. We're all open to that. It is not about Paul. This is an association that we want to build, and we think that it can bring us to the next level of master electrician. And that's what we're shooting for. And if you have ideas, you have different things you think would be beneficial, I'd love to hear it. Just email us at info at cmecp.org. I would love to hear it. And so, again, I'm going to end this. This is the first time I've actually done a live podcast in quite a while. So I don't know how it sounded. I don't know how it came across. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death. But that's just a little bit of what we got going on for the tomorrow night's webinar. So hopefully you'll join us and you'll get something out of it, folks. Until next time, stay safe. God bless. And to all you CMECPs out there, again, appreciate you all and thank you for all that you do. And we'll just keep moving this thing forward. Until next time, stay safe.